What a season 5 was. So we're going to set the goal at winning 6 games this season. Now we know we can do it. I'm actually going to select some gear now, as I feel like we could be heading into winning ways. I'll only be taking the cheapest boost, which is the +1 to block and block shedding. And I'll do it over 3 years, so it's 20 mil a year just to get us started. And then ticket prices I'll set the middle, although I'll be honest, at this point you could probably set it to expensive, as the fans are quite happy. They only dropped 10%, so it's worth going highest price from now on. Now to some re-signings, and we know Houston was going to run out this season, so we're going to go cheaper contracts by switching him to a fullback. And now he's just going to be dirt cheap, so we'll sign him up to a 7-year contract. You don't need to front load it or back load it, because it's going to be mega cheap basically at 1.2 a year. So yeah, that's Houston signed on for the rest of his career. So I've decided I'm going to re-sign Lee as well, just like I did with Price last season. Lee's got a good overall and he's 33, so he's going to retire pretty soon, so we'll just long it out to 7 years. Backload it because we know he's going to retire in a season or 2, so we'll never hit the expensive part of the contract, and he's a good player. So I was really hoping for a new defensive coordinator this season, and there's a couple of 5 stars in their 30s, but their personalities are just not good enough. They're below 80, and so the worse the personality, the more expensive the TP. And since it's expensive enough in TP to get these guys up to like the 90s in play calling and training, there's no point, so I'm just going to re-sign Hernandez for another year, and hopefully I'll find a new DC next season. But I'm starting to get desperate. And annoyingly, exactly the same situation for the scout. Found another good scout, good age, good intelligence, but bad personality, so TP's going to be too expensive. Just not good enough again, so Levi Mack, the ledge, gets another year. Really need some good staff to pop up here. Desperate again. Although we did manage to find our marketing manager of the future, which actually doesn't really matter. But we got one. We got a 32-year-old with a good personality, 81 overall market manager, so signed him. Then off to the doctor. I've had a look through the doctors already, and we're going to settle on someone who unfortunately is just going to be a 1-year guy to bridge the gap between a possible career doctor. Yeah, again, we just couldn't find someone who was good enough. So finally, one member of staff who's actually good enough, Zane Cole. Yeah, his intelligence is 80, but that is good enough to be fair. I'll take that, but he's 32, 5-star psychologist, so I'm really happy we can bump up his happiness to 80, because at the minute it's 78. So that helps players, and yeah, we'll sort of gradually bump him up over time, little bits here and there. Got a psychologist. So I've already done my usual scouting on the old college section in the market, and this year's draft is just not good. I mean, this whole season is not starting out very well. We can't find the staff, and this draft is no good for us. There's barely any vertical players. And obviously we don't have our DC yet, so we can pick any defensive player, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to pick one of the better players available defensively in a position that's kind of a need. Go from there, and that's what I'll do with my next pick as well. Yes, it's not a great draft. I'm even pondering trading out of probably like my 19th pick. Yeah, I really don't like it actually. Here, pick 8. I think we had to get rid of our safety. So I'm thinking I'm going to take a secondary player. So I'll do that. I'll probably take Jeremiah Cook. And now pick 19. This is. There's just no one I want. I think I'm going to trade it out. So yeah, I hate this year's draft, and I'm trading out. I'm trading into next year's draft, and also there's a tackle I want, and he'll drop another 10 spots, so I'm going to trade down as well. As expected, here he is. He's dropped to pick number 28. Well, actually, it'll probably drop further, but I'm just going to take him now. Raymond Wood. He's only 3-star, but he's vertical, and because his rating was B+, we figured he'd be pretty decent. So 81. He's good. So yeah, as mentioned, an unfavourable draft with terrible players and choices for me. Best thing's probably the tackle, and actually the QB, who might give me some value in a trade. That's about it. So post-draft, I did what I will be doing, I guess, every season, is looking for a couple of veterans. Although I'll admit this Parks one was a bit of a mistake, as I then found a better player to replace him with. Yeah, I then traded him here to then get a better player. I just got rid of him again, even though he's worth nothing. But yeah, I bought in a few good players. I bought him some picks. I then had to trade players who were sort of last year at contracts like Welch, and he got me a 2nd rounder. And then I had a look on the free agency. I know I say you shouldn't sign anyone, but I saw this Todd Jimenez, and 86 overall, but because he's vertical, when I sign him, he'll be a 90. And so I decided to take the plunge because, with intelligence as well, sorry, he was 91, because thanks to the head coach. And then I switched him to wide receiver, 92. So I got a top receiver for 12 mil for the 1 year. So draft done, vet signed, kick off with the season. First up, home to the Chiefs. Nice victory to start the season here. I was actually thinking about this early on, that if I had a poor record going into week 8, then I would trade away my next 3 first rounders. Oh, there's the first loss. 2-1. So yeah, if my record's not great, then I think I'm going to trade away my next 3 first rounders and sort of try and get as many first rounders back as I can from other teams. And as much as I don't like losing, it looks like it's going to keep happening for a couple of games. I got to be honest, I do think last season we got a bit lucky with the amount of games we won, and I'm kind of regretting buying gear early. Or not regretting, but you know, I didn't need to buy gear that early because we're not challenging for the Super Bowl, and I know that, so I kind of didn't need to waste the 20 mil a year for the next 3 seasons. But you know, as we reach halfway mark anyway, not halfway mark, the sort of bye week, so to speak, or the trade deadline, I've got a 2-5 record, which obviously you don't really want, but it means my first rounders have got decent value. So I've had a look through and I found some trade partners, Panthers being one of them. I got a load of picks back for that first rounder. And then having another little look through, I found Pittsburgh. They got me some nice picks again. And then post Pittsburgh, I then also found Jacksonville. So Pittsburgh actually gave me 3 first rounders, which is really good. I was really happy with that actually. So for the Panthers and the Steelers, we got 3 first rounders. So I was really happy with that, and obviously a few depth picks as well to try and get me up to that 200 players drafted, which helps with negotiations for your GM. And then, as I said, the last one was Jacksonville. But they was a bit pricey for 3 first rounders, but I got 2, so I traded 1, got 2. So I traded away my next 3 first round picks with teams that could end up getting pretty high draft picks, and I managed to get back 8 first rounders. So I was really happy with that. Yeah, got some really good trades that off season, and now we need to win some games so we get to that 6 wins. Otherwise, I'm going to fail that expectation for the season. But I do think we'll get to the 6 wins as we hit back into the league now. Philly, this is winnable. There it is. There we go. That's 3 wins. We're halfway there. Plenty of games to go. We're definitely going to make the Oh yeah, I accidentally clicked support player on that one. So the fans weren't very happy, but that don't really affect it too much. There's the next win, Dallas, that's nice, there you go. Take a loss to the Chargers here. So yeah, so basically we're still not challenging yet. As you can see, we're taking a few more losses this year, although there it is, nice win against the Broncos, and we get to play them again, so should be 2 wins against those, so we'll get the 6 not quite easily, but oh, there it is, beating the Giants. That's your 6. That's your 6 wins. So we met our expectations. So we get the, I think it was 90 mil and about 30,000 TP. Oh, great! My best cornerback's out for the season. That's not the best. Here's what it is. Jacksonville. See if we can get their first round of better. There you go. That'll do. And then Denver. What is 7 and 8? Tell you what, a little win there. 8 and 8, and we got no chance now. I didn't think we would. Where are we? 10th. Yeah, we're several places out. We're never going to make it, to be honest. It seemed to prove that last season was a bit of a lucky one. But it's definitely things to build on. You know, once we just need that defensive coordinator, to be honest. Once we've got him, we can start then building our defense properly and actually building the full team properly. Because then we've got more players to pick from in the draft. So I've really got something to think about for the defensive coordinator next season, sorry. So yeah, not a great season 6, to be honest. At least it's not a losing record. Made some good trades, got some good first rounders. And who's winning the Super Bowl? Houston Texans get the win. Yeah, so hopefully we can do a lot better next season. See you on the next one.